orientation on behalf of BCI-CAI.
Have we lost her?
Yes.
Guess connection issues.
Yeah, it seems like. Let me just call her and check.
You're still not audible, Ashwati.
Aswati, yeah. Aswati, you are on mute.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the interruption. There was some technical glitch there. So,
Yes.
for waste, a very warm good morning to all of you, especially the students, and welcome to the CA course orientation on behalf of BCI-CAI. First of all, I would like to wish you all a very happy Onam. It gives me immense pleasure to see you all here today, especially on a weekend. And I'm sure this is going to be a very beneficial session for all of you. Before we move on, I would like to remind you of a few housekeeping rules. We would like to keep your camera on, but mic on mute always. Please note down your questions. They will be addressed at the end of the session. You may also type your questions in the chat box and they will be attended to. Also, please stay online till the end of the session. We will be having an Excite Kahoot quiz for you, and the top 3 winners would be getting prizes. So please download Kahoot now itself. Please be ready with 2 devices, one where you can do your quiz and one where you can see the questions. So now moving on to our main agenda. First, I would like to call upon our BCI-CAI chairperson, Ms. Sharmila Seth, for the opening address. I would like to let you know that she is our first women chairperson of BCI-CAI. Sharmila, over to you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Aswati. So, namaste all. And a very happy Onam to all the present here. Students, their families, guests, speakers, and as well as our members who are here. Welcome all to the today's session on the CA orientation. First of all, let me thank you all the students as well as your parents who are present here and attending the session by taking a time out on a Friday and especially on the day of Onam when everybody else is in the festive mood. Also, I would like to thank the school management who has shared, reshared, and sent out the reminders of today's session so that maximum students get the benefit of the session. Also, thanks to our committee member, C. Aswati, who has taken tremendous efforts for conducting and coordinating with the schools and other organizations, ensuring that we reach out to the maximum students as much as possible. Also, I would like to thank as well as welcome CA Dayanivas Sharma, the chairman of the Board of Studies ICI, CA Pradeep Singh Baveja, who is currently heading the Middle East and Africa operations of ICI, and our speaker, CA Amit Shuna, our very own member who was a past member of the Bahrain chapter of ICI. Thanks to all of you. I know how busy your schedules are. And despite of all that, you agreed to come, address, and guide our students. So thanks once again and welcome to the today's session. Coming to our today's session on the CA course orientation. You just Google and search for the list for the toughest professional courses across the country. And I'm sure CA accountancy, chartered accountancy will be the first on the list. Most of the students who belong to the commerce field, once in their life at least, have that dream to become a chartered accountant. And why not? Chartered accountancy is one of the most rewarding professions, and as a career option offers great flexibility in the profession. CAs have several career opportunities and avenues to choose from. It is one of the most stable and secure profession. Almost every organization needs CA to handle their accounts, finance, audit, risk, and much more. Chartered accountancy is great for pursuing as a global career as well. In short while, you'll get to know more about that. So not only in India, but the demand for CA is high across the globe. And of course, the salary package are impressive compared to the other professions. But having said all that, there is also a misconception that CA is one of the exceptionally difficult course to pursue. Well, that's not all true. But just as I mentioned, there are several benefits to be a chartered accountant. So definitely nothing comes for free. The seeds of hard work needs to be germinated for any promising career. Then why leave chartered accountancy out of that? Just that you need to have that passion. And I'm sure for you all who are here today, in spite being a holiday and being a festival, that is, I guess, the kind of dedication that is required. And I'm sure you all are going to make great CAs. If you do the right preparation, get proper guidance, do your hard work, and believe me, cracking CA exam is not a big deal. And that's exactly the purpose of our today's session. We have 3 experts in the field to tell us about the CA course, the curriculum, how to prepare for it, and what are the various opportunities that are waiting for you all. So I don't want to be between you and the great session which is lying ahead. And I'm sure at the end of the session, you'll be realizing that being a chartered accountant is surely an evergreen career choice. So let me give the control back to our MC, C. Ashwati, to introduce the speaker as well as the dignitary and take the session forward. Over to you, Ashwati.
Thank you, Sharmila. So before we move on to the orientation session, I would like to invite or introduce you to 2 very important guests who have joined with us today. First of all, I would like to call upon Mr. C.A. Pradeep Singh Baveja, who is and is currently heading the Middle East and Africa operations of ICAI. Over to you, sir, for a few words to the students.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Aswati. Respected Central Council Member and Chairman, Board of Studies, CA Dayanivas Sharma. So, Chairperson, Bahrain Chapter, CA Sharmila, and Vice Chair, CA Sthanamurthy, Secretary, CA Nisha, and all other committee members. Thank you for arranging this session for the students, and very warm welcome to all students, and if parents are attending with that. Also to any members from welcome to the school management, and thank you for making students aware and encouraged to do to do chartered accountancy and excel in the field. As a regional director for Middle East and Africa, I would like to share brief details on our members in the Middle East region, which is like 11,000 members. And in all of the Middle East countries, most of the Middle East countries, the largest penetration in the accounting field is from our chartered accountants. And in most of the countries, 75 to 80% people in finance are Indian chartered accountants who have settled in these countries for over many decades, like 5-6 decades. And over the years, there have been significant support to the students doing chartered accountancy when it comes to whether articleship or examination center. We have a large number of students in Bahrain who are pursuing their articleship and appearing in examination from Bahrain Center. The largest number of students for Middle East is in Dubai, where more than 300 students at any given point of time sit for examination. As a chartered accountant, when you gain your chartered accountancy, you also gain an access to the entire world. When I say entire world, because there are several mutual recognition agreements which have been done by Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, which allow you to gain a membership of that accounting body and easily move to the country, which includes countries like England, Ireland, South Africa, Canada, Australia, New Zealand. And when it comes to the preparation of a chartered accountancy, Chair C.A. Sharmila has talked about that it's a misconception that it's difficult. There is no doubt that chartered accountancy is difficult, but what we need to clear the examinations, I believe, 3 things which I call PEP. First is planning. I see that most of the students fail to plan that how they have to study, how many hours they have to give to the study. And when we are failing in different levels to give the certain number of hours which are required, we are failing in doing our duty to prepare. When we have planned, it's important for us that we are able to execute our plan. And when we execute, we may have issues, or we may get a guest or anything. For that, we keep a buffers. Like today, we have a Onam, so large number of people are celebrating Onam. We may have to go out. So when we plan, we keep a buffer, and we have to see that we are able to execute our plan to the best level by keeping the buffers. And third thing is that when we have a misconception that, and when we do not have a confidence in ourselves, we fail to perform in the examinations. With my own experience in CA final examination, when I had sat in 2006, November, I had given those exams without any form of pressure of passing the examination. And what I realized that when I have left off the entire pressure, I was able to perform better, and I succeeded in that attempt of CA finals, in that first attempt, which I had got after 2.5 years of articleship. So therefore, as a student, if we are taking a foundation route, it takes 4 years to complete the chartered accountancy. So it's not like a very long time you have to get. As a student in the world, there are continuous changes which are happening. The technology, the new technology which is coming, is changing the way our profession is advancing. The role of a chartered accountant over the world has been continuously evolving. And the world is becoming more globalized with changing regulations when it comes to taxation and compliance in the world. So these 3 things are accelerating the way the accounting profession is changing, is becoming more demanding, and this change will become faster. So as an institute, we have been continuously changing what we have to teach to the chartered accountants, for which you will get a brief today, like this revision, which will become applicable, has happened in 5 years' time. So therefore, we are prepared to face the world with the things which we need to study. The only message I want to give to the dear students is that, in our lives, there is no shortcut. Sometimes we get attracted to certain things which can be done faster, and we feel like we can start a career early. But the thing is that as a chartered accountant, if our base is not stronger, then we may have serious repercussions in the future. When I said that I did not have any pressure in my CA final examination, because that was the time when I had attempted the examination to fail, because I felt that there are a couple of subjects for which my skills are limited, where I need to give more time. So that's why I wanted to fail. But the God had other plans, and I passed the examination. And after that, I tried my best to improve on those skills. But when you get into the job and you have only certain things to study which are required for your job, you may not give time to every other skill. So as a student, we need to develop our skills. We need to make our base stronger in subjects which are like financial management, technology. And therefore, we need to put in efforts. We need to put in our time. So therefore, as a student, when you choose your career, see that you are not taking shortcuts. You are working hard to make your base stronger, because the world is changing and you need to face the world with the best preparation and make your life successful, and also aspirations which our parents have, we fulfill. So with that, I'm available for any questions which you may have later on to answer. And I hand it over back to Aswati. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Those were very interesting insights. And I was surprised to know that there are more than 300 students appearing for CA exams in Dubai. It's quite a very encouraging number. And I also completely resonate with your message that there should be no shortcuts. We should not be taking any shortcuts anywhere in our life. With this, I would like to call upon our next guest, Mr. C.A. Dayanivas Sharma. He is a chairman board of studies of ICAI. Apart from being a CA, he is also a certified information systems auditor and certified forensic auditor. He has been a Central Council member from 2019. Over to you, sir, for a few words to the students.
Thank you very much, Ashwati, and pleasure to be there in Bahrain. Sharmila, thank you very much for ensuring that I come here and talk to this young tinkling guys who are there. One request which I have to all my little angels who are there, to give me a nice smile now, please. Because if you see, if you're focusing only on examination, study and all, and your smile is getting away, I want your smile back. That's the most important. Big smile. Yes. Where are the other guys who are not on the screen? Joel, you are not smiling. Nice smile, man. Yes. Where are the other guys? Wherever you are sitting in a bathroom also, you can on the video. Right? Just come on the screen. I'll be loving to see you guys, because I have a little daughter who is in 10th standard. And I always love seeing her smiling. So you are all like daughters and son around. And if you smile, I think then I'll get motivated to talk to you guys here. Otherwise, it is no fun. If I come and speak like a teacher and a chairman board of studies, I'll get little irritated. And honestly, I tell you, I swear, rather I'll confess one thing, that I was the most notorious student of my school. And you can't even imagine what all I have done in my school, and the level in which I used to fail. My father was getting always irritated, because he also is a chartered accountant, and used to say, "Arey bhai, you please either pass or leave CA." Okay, so you just imagine what kind of fun I used to have. So not that every chartered accountant, a person who wants to become a chartered accountant has to be very serious in studies. No, I don't think. I don't think at all. Right, Sharmila? Am I right? See, you are also smiling now. Even Nisha is smiling. Even Pradeep is smiling. Even Amit is smiling. Everyone is smiling. Just see this. Because everyone during their lifetime as a student have always been. See, being studious for the studies, perfectly good. That is a different fun. But a student who is a failure succeeds, that is a different fun. So both give a very big value add in the entire ecosystem of our education and nation, right? Murthy, am I right or wrong? Right? So my only Pradeep, correct hai na? You are the regional director. You are the
No.
regional director. So you please tell, अरे तुम बच्चों को डरा रहा है इतने सारा है ये पढ़ना वो पढ़ना मत करो हमारे बच्चे एकदम they are talented. And let me just share with you all guys. You know how many times I wrote examination you can't even imagine. In my BCom first year I failed. BCom second year I wrote my BCom first year exam. BCom third year when I came I wrote my BCom. So my father was totally irritated. And today just imagine being a council member of the second largest accounting body of the world, and more importantly, a person who used to fail so many times. He is actually the chairman of board of studies. Means all the students, 8 lakh students are under me. Just imagine what kind of fun I should be having. Tell me. So the failures, remember one thing, are not permanent. They just come and they go. Successes, it should not be there on our head. It should actually, once achieved, is over, right? Start preparing for the next one. So just to tell you all guys that, I came today to talk to you not because of any other thing. People generally say that, CA is a very tough course. So no, the CA is not a tough course. It's basically, we make it tough, thinking it is, tough, karke, because the pass percentage is difficult. But the fact is, just imagine in a country like India, I'm just relating to India, then I'll extrapolate to the world, right? In a population of 140 crores, we have only 4 lakh chartered accountants. And that too, we are the second largest accounting body in the world. So what kind of demand should be there? You have so many doctors, you have so many engineers, you have so many MBAs. You can't even count. But chartered accountants, you can count. Very simple. Because that is an exclusive area of activity. Just imagine, Pradeep also spoke about one very interesting fact, which you all should appreciate. The chartered accountants are in UAE alone, GCC country alone, I think is close to 11,000 people. And best of the best organization, including Emirates Airline, CFO is an Indian. You agree? Am I right, Pradeep? And I think many of such organizations which you can relate to, which is just around you when you walk on the street, you see huge boards, big organizations. Most of the companies are actually having the CFOs are chartered accountants from India. And they have struggled their bit in India. And now they are actually a global brand in themselves. This is the power of chartered accountancy course. What is there? Technically, if you see from a global perspective, it's so nice that, when I tell my daughter, she always say, you know what? Shall I tell you something? One more smile back. I always used to tell my father that I'll never do CA. You know why? Shall I tell you the answer? Mridula, shall I tell the answer? Okay, there are 2 reasons. I told my father that all the chartered accountants are bald-headed or they have a big tummy. So I don't want to do CA. So just imagine what kind of thought process which we work with. So everyone thinks that, it is tough. You have to study for long, this, that, and all of that. It's not the fact. But whereas when I'm talking about such international brands where you actually go and see, right, the big names you see across, the CFOs, the people who are signing the financial statements are no other person than chartered accountants. So now the point is, what did we do for the profession? Now ICAI, which is the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, Hopefully your father who is chartered accountant, not a chartered accountant, but they'll know who is a chartered accountant. Go back and check. If your parents are around, they'll smile and they'll tell, yes, you be a chartered accountant after this. We are now coming out with a new curriculum, which is going to be international curriculum in very soon. Just wait for a year. We are coming out with that so that you people who are completing your 10th, 11th, 12th, by the time you complete that, you will get an international curriculum, which is going to have, just imagine, a course which is going to be your country specific. Today it is not country specific. We are going to come country specific. Like example, Bahrain. When you talk about what laws are applicable in Bahrain, that will be there and you will be learning that. And much more is coming up. So what I request you all people is, honestly sit down and reevaluate. Might be go meet in the chapter like Sharmila and all the other members. Sit with them, understand what is the course all about. Then you think, how do you start preparing? Like 11th, 12th, when you, as soon as you complete 10th standard, oh, I missed out telling why my daughter didn't want to do CA, right? Because I am always traveling. So my reason was different. My daughter's reason is different, but they are going to, both of us, she hopefully will be doing the CA. So all you people will have to go through a learning process. Once you complete 10th standard, you can go for registration. 11th and 12th, write your examination. By the time you write examination and complete your 12th standard, you are eligible to write foundation. There are 3-layered approach in CA course, which is foundation, inter, and final, right? Okay, foundation, inter, and final. So in foundation, as soon as you complete your 12th standard, right, the next examination you can write and qualify your foundation, which is having only 4 papers, which our other faculty is going to talk about. Let him discuss in detail. Number 2, the moment you qualify, you are eligible to go for registration of your intermediate education. What happens in the intermediate education? You need to clear one of the groups. There are 2 groups of 4 papers each. One group, and then you actually have to go and get registered with a chartered accountant to work with them to learn. This is one of the most unique courses in last 73 years. We are the only course in the world which actually teaches and trains. Teaches and train together. And more than that, you earn also. Like when you are doing your articleship, you get a stipend which is being paid by the chartered accountant under with whom you are getting trained. So there are 3 things, right? So all things are being so effectively covered. Then when you complete your intermediate education, you immediately can write the final examination. 3 years of practical training is required, which we are now reducing to 2 years in the new curriculum, and much more is there. So once you complete this, the best thing which I will tell you is, a chartered accountant from India is being recognized across the length and breadth of the globe. Across the globe, your degree is recognized. And most importantly, if you qualify your CA examination, right? If you qualify your CA examination, you are eligible to write anywhere in the world certain exams like ICWAE, which is primarily an Institute of Chartered Accountants of England and Wales. Only by writing 5 questions, you will actually become a member of the world's oldest accounting profession. Only by writing 5 papers, 5 questions. Similarly, by writing 2 papers after qualifying CA, you can actually become a chartered accountant of Australia, New Zealand, England and Wales. You tell the names, you have different variety opportunity which is there. So it is not just going to stop with ICI alone. By doing a course in ICI, you will be getting exposure for the global perspective. So I request you all kids to really think, make your parents proud that you are not only a specific expert of a particular country or a law, but you actually can become a global and brand ambassador of India as such. Just imagine the day you get to an age of 40, 45 and you become a CFO of Emirates Airline, or might be Etihad Airline, or might be Qatar Airline, or might be some other. I'm just giving you a big name because you are able to see, and there are people who are there. So the life is not restricted only to just, one room or one table. You actually can make the organization drive their entire vision in such manner which no other person can do. Because without finances, no business can work, no charity can work. Money is money. Wherever money and finance is involved, there is required that a chartered accountant has to be there. So now just imagine what is the kind of outlook you can actually get by completing your CA. Sharmila, I hope I could communicate what I could, and I believe all my dear lovely little kids have understood what I was trying to say. Yes or no? Huh? Amruta, you know what? My daughter's name is also Amruta. So you want to say something? No. Why? Nothing. Understood everything. Now you want to be a CFO of organization or a practicing chartered accountant to sign the balance sheets of big organizations?
I don't know yet.
Oh, Hare, after telling so much, you should actually become a chartered accountant. Otherwise, I'll come to your home, I'll teach you all the subjects. Okay?
Okay.
Good. God bless you all. Have a great day and have a great celebration. Enjoy with your parents. Remember one thing in life, there is nothing beyond parents. If you don't go to temple, church or mosque, doesn't matter. But every day touch feet of your parents. That is the biggest blessing which God will give you in every side. Love your parents as much as possible. That will make a game change. You will never tell them lie, because you are very close to them, right? They are the best friends you can have, because my parents have been my best friends all across, and they have given me what kind of training they could give, what best they could give, right? Thank you, dear. God bless you all. Love you all. Enjoy all. And remember one thing, not only studies, be naughtiest, enjoy life. Don't let your life actually rule by education. No, you have to be your natural and do your best. God bless you all.
Thank you, sir. I guess Vivan had some specific thing, I think, to ask. You want to say something, Vivan? Vivan, right?
Hello,
There,
Vivan.
he had something to ask. He just raised the hand.
Sharmila, what I would suggest is we leave them to post the questions on the chat box, and we'll
Yeah,
take.
sure. I thought maybe he is specific on what, sir, because sir asked, if somebody has anything to say. So I just thought, okay, then in that case, we can. Yes, Vivan. Tell. I
Vivan,
guess you need to unmute him. Okay, you have that. See, so Vivan, just stay with us till the end, and probably once we have the whole session, probably we'll get to know.
Hello everyone. I just wanted to ask, is CA or CFA better?
What do you think?
I don't know actually.
Hey, you look at me and be motivated. No? Love you. No. I always will advocate for CA. CFA has certain other restrictions, but whereas when you do a CA, how many CA firms are there in Bahrain? This is a very good question. Might be these people will answer. But yes, CFA has certain other limitations. But CA, technically, what is happening now, Vivan, is when you do CA, as I told you, there are a lot of MRAs and MOUs which are signed with various countries. By writing 2 papers, 3 papers, you can actually get certificate of those respective countries also, in a very true sense. So my request to you is just see the comparison between the CA and the CFA. CFA doesn't have this kind of MOUs and MRAs. And more importantly, I'd like to tell you, we have 166 branches across the country and close to 67 international chapters. Wherever you want to go, you can travel across. It's a different ball game altogether. But however, I'll request the faculty to take the further questions, right?
Sure, sir. So
Yeah,
just students, just hold on to the question for some more time. I'm sure most of them will be answered by our next speaker who is there. And if not, then we will take it towards the end for sure. So over to you, Aswati. And thank you so much, sir, for that really encouraging session.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. After hearing your session, I'm sure that you were like a very naughty student by your school. So I'm sure students, yes, yeah. I'm sure all the students found your words quite insightful, especially regarding the international curriculum, which would soon be introduced. Also regarding the global opportunities, which the students would be able to tap into once they complete CA. I think those are very two crucial things they should look at. Thank you again, sir, very much.
Thank you very much. I'll take leave.
Yeah, sure, sir. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
sir. So now we move on to our next, the important session, the agenda, the important part of our agenda, that is the orientation itself. So today we have with us a very good speaker who will brief you on the whole CA orientation course, the CA course itself. He is Amit Shenoy. He is also a company secretary as well as a financial risk manager. He is also a CA rank holder. And apart, so he has got 11 years of post-qualification corporate experience. And the most important part is his passion for teaching and coaching. So Amit, after his 11 years of post-qualification corporate experience, went to pursue his passion in teaching and coaching, whereby he has been coaching students in commerce stream since 2015. So without taking any more time, floor is yours, Amit.
Thanks a lot, Ashwati. Thanks a lot, Sharmila, for giving this opportunity. I'm sure, guys, you are there to go, my friends. Let's be active on the chat box and let me know how you are feeling this morning. Kaisa lag raha hai? How are you feeling? Energetic, excited? Let me see on the chat box. Come on, I need you to be involved. Thode fingers ko exercise karo. I can see Amruta smile. Energetic. Kevin says, lovely, lovely. Hi, Josh. How's the Josh? Hi, sir. Lovely. Girish is there. I can see good amount of good, sir. Jones is good. I can see a couple of good questions also coming. Yes, great, great. Excited, very high. Feeling good. अच्छा, आजू बाजू में पेरेंट्स से करके सर गुड एक्साइटेड मत लिखना. अगर लग रहा है सर बोरिंग लग रहा है तो बोरिंग भी डाल दो, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं, नो प्रॉब्लम. You have every right to feel and write what you feel. Simple बात है. Yes, but I can see that most of you are quite positive. It shows up. छुट्टी के दिन में तुम लोग आके यहाँ पे बैठे हो. I am very sure that you are interested. Yeah, friends. So what I'll require is a complete open mind. Your fingers have to be the complete involvement. Pura ghus jao. I promise at the end of 45th minute, you will feel that this was one of the best sessions you have attended, provided you give me 100%. So how many of you are ready to give me 100%? Type in the chat box 100%. Let me see. Kitne log denge? Looking forward to your session. Yes, Anand, thanks. 100% Nivedita was the first one to say that. I can see so much of action, so much of enthusiasm. I love this. I love this crowd. I love this crowd, friends. Yeah. So love you all. Let me just share. I'm already introduced. I'll not spend a lot of time introducing myself. Let me speak about the course. And I want every one of you to be active. हाँ एकदम तैयार रहना चाहिए. सब भूल जाओ आजू बाजू में. नेटफ्लिक्स वेटफ्लिक्स बाजू में अगर चालू है तो बंद कर दो. इस पर्टिकुलर चीज पे कॉन्सेंट्रेट करना. फाइन. सो दिस इज इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स ऑफ इंडिया. वार्म वेलकम टू द फैमिली. अगर आप लोग देखोगे तो यू विल सी दैट the emblem is the emblem of what? You tell me. What do you see in the emblem? Let me see if somebody can guess it. What do you see in the emblem? किसी को guess हो रहा है? को unity. Eagle is the right. Aisha, I love you for this. Mrudula, yes, it's a question mark. It's an eagle. Right, friends? Now, why do you think? कभी आपने सोचा है CA के emblem में why do we have an eagle? You know, when it is बहुत सारा बारिश हो रहा है, it's raining very heavily. Eagle is the only bird who can fly above the cloud and be least affected by anything which is going around. And that is what each of my friend eagle who I can see here, Nisha, Sharmila, Ashwati, we are the eagles. And I'm sure one day will come when I'm addressing Shreyasi as CA Shreyasi, Amruta as CA Shreyasi, and all my fellow eagles are flying along with me. Right? So tell, we are ready to go. How many of you are ready to go? Say ready in the chat box. Me, Mrudula, my God, I see the energy. So much of energy. I love you for that. Sharmila didn't tell me I am actually addressing such a wonderful team. Right? So let me get into the presentation. Warm welcome to the family. Just give me a moment. Yes. So we are going to do a career exploration, friends. Right? Apna point of discussion hoga. There will be a point of discussion. What we'll be covering in this discussion, right? अगर यहाँ से मुझे कहीं जाना, if I want to go somewhere, I need to have the path, Google Map right set. So let us set our Google Map. Just give me a moment. What we will be covering in this discussion. Yeah, just a minute. Just give me a minute, friends. This sharing is not happening. Sometimes, technology. And that's why the world requires CA still, not the robots. Because technology can fail, but a chartered accountant never fails. Right? So give me a moment, please. Let me come to the slide. Yes, first slide. Sharing, and I'll come to this. Yes, it will be an insight in the career exploration. How can we handle it internationally? I am sure my friend CA Prabdeep will be able to help us in that, and there will be a question answer. Friends, before doing anything in life, ask yourself why. ये चीज मैं क्यों कर रहा हूं? Why I'm doing at least 3 times. So we are going to cover why am I discussing about career exploration in the first place? Why am I discussing about CA particularly when there are so many career explorations? And C is why should I be doing a CA? मैं क्यों करूं भाई? ठीक है, आजू बाजू में सब बने, शर्मिला बन गई, निशा बन गई, बिग डील, अश्वती ने कर लिया, अमित ने कर लिया, मैं क्यों करूं? Right? So these are the top 3 questions which we need to answer. And I know abhi couple of you might be feeling, अरे भाई आखिर कहना क्या चाहते हो? What are you trying to tell me? Right? I'm sure you remember this. This is from which movie? If somebody knows, if somebody can write me, कौन से movie से था? Let me see if somebody. 3 Idiots. अरे बाबा निवेदिया, you're too fast. मेरे क्वेश्चन पूछने के पहले उसका आंसर आ जाता है. Great. Amruta, it is 3 Idiots. आखिर कहना क्या चाहते हो? Friends, don't worry. I am very clear what I'm speaking about. मैं क्या कहना चाहता हूँ? I'll just tell you in some time. Give me a moment. Yes. The first question is, friends, career exploration. Why are our parents telling us कि यार श्रेयसी तुझे ये करना है, अमृता तुझे ये करना है, नैवेद्या तुझे ये करना है? Why do we need it? पहला question is अपना why एकदम clear रहना चाहिए. We should be very clear into why we are doing it, what we are doing, right? So सबसे पहला is material needs. Now all of you are staying in one of the best places on this earth, which is Bahrain, lovely, in a very big home. जब चाहिए तब आपको एक अच्छा सा मोबाइल मिल जाता है, जब चाहिए तब आपको छुट्टियां मिल जाती है. How do your parents provide for that, friends? It's basically because of the material needs which they are able to earn being in the profession. Second thing is very important. A part in life comes where impact makes more important than your income. इनकम अपन ने एक लेवल तक बना लिया यार, आज मैं क्या डिफरेंस कर रहा हूँ? एक डिफरेंस करने का जब तुमको मौका मिलता है, that is when you discover your purpose in life, and that is why you need to have a proper career. And that is what I said, a situation where impact would mean more than your income. So let us see the next question which we are handling is about career exploration. Just give me a moment again. Yes. You remember this famous dialogue from 3 Idiots? कामयाब होने के लिए नहीं, काबिल होने के लिए पढ़ो दोस्तों, काबिल होने के लिए. That means don't study for success. Study so that your abilities are up to the mark. Be the best of your ability, give the 100% of your ability, and then success has to come. This is one of the movies which I really love to the core of my heart. Next question is, friend, what is CA and why CA? Okay, see, the moment you get this degree, chartered accountancy, a whole plethora of world opens up for you. You can get into management consulting, you can get into business, you can be an entrepreneur, you can have your own practice, you can be employed. As our respected chartered accountant Dayanivas Sirji said, that you can be CFO of one of the top companies. Now, most of my friends in Bahrain are already CFOs, chief financial officers of reputed companies. So you also would be one of those coveted people, right? And there is a lot of change which is happening. First, increased use of smart and sophisticated technologies. Then there is continued globalization, which is creating more opportunities, and there is an increased regulation, right? So let me just stop a share here. And how many of you would like to hear a small story? एक छोटा सा story हम लोग सुनते हैं. Tell me story. Let the story come. Let the story come. Yes, Arjun is there. Now Arjun has come up. Wow, John, Alina. And I'll have another story also. That will be a story. एक दो story तो आना ही चाहिए अपने को. And I'm seeing that fingers are getting active. Story. Yes, sir. Dubai says me. Let the story come. Sudev, bring it on, sir. Lovely, Sudev. That is the attitude. I can see a lot of energy. Yeah? Lot of energy. How's the Josh? Let me see. How's the Josh? Oh, hi, sir. Lovely, lovely. Yes. So, you know, in general, there is a fear. काफी लोगों को ऐसा tension है. You know, many people are quite fearful about the fact that now machines are taking over. Will this profession remain? Will chartered accountancy as a profession remain? कल machine आ गया, machine will be machine who will be doing everything, and might be we lose our jobs. Have you ever thought about it, friends? Anybody out of you? Sir, me डाल दो. मैंने ऐसा सोचा, मुझे लग रहा है कि आज तो मैं चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट कर लूंगा, बाद में उसका काम होगा कि नहीं. Alina says yes, sir. So I'll share a good story with you. हाँ? एक छोटा सा story मैं बताऊँ. Shaurya says yes, sir. मुझे भी है. I also feel like that. So एक बार क्या हुआ अभी इंडिया में recently there was a situation which happened. अच्छा, all of you understand Hindi properly? Anybody who says sir Hindi नहीं, I don't understand Hindi, type in the chat box. Don't understand Hindi. Okay, fine. क्या हिंदी में रहेगा ना तो एकदम सा दिल से निकलता है. Certain things just come out, pops out. I'm sure. You know, the smile shows that हाँ sir बराबर बोल रहे हैं. Yes, I understand. Okay, so what happened recently? You know, one of the guys, and this is what I'm saying. How CA as a profession, you can still make a difference. Not be scared about the machines. Be and work along with the machines. Okay. So what happened is one of the fellow traveler was traveling in a flight. So he was landed in Mumbai. And उसका जो luggage है that went to Delhi. Did you understand क्या हुआ? Did you understand the situation? And this guy was extremely furious. उसका एक important था. बेचारा एक ही मतलब बोलते ना बर्मुडा और टी शर्ट में घूम रहा था. ऐसे कोट बेचारे के स्कूट में चले गए. And that has gone to Delhi. And he has come up for such a conference in Mumbai in his Bermuda. Imagine कर पा रहे हो आप लोग? Can you imagine the situation? है ना? मजा आ रहा है एकदम. I can see that smile on your face. सही है? अच्छा. अब क्या हुआ तो फ्रस्ट्रेट हो गया उसने. He was very frustrated, right? और फ्रस्ट्रेशन में उसने एक मैसेज लिख दिया. इन ही ट्वीट, you know tweeting, right? तो उसने ट्वीट कर दिया एयरलाइंस को, I am extremely impressed with your services. I am very happy that you took every effort to land me in Mumbai and land my luggage in Delhi. ऐसा लिख दिया. This he tweeted in the airline का tweet. Okay. Now there was an intelligent machine on the other side. Okay. उसने देखा I am extremely happy and I am this. तो वहां से मशीन ने रिप्लाई किया, Sir, we are extremely delighted with this service of ours and will ensure in future in every journey we will do this for you. हर जर्नी में आपका कपड़ा हम दिल्ली भेजेंगे, आपको मुंबई भेजेंगे. Can you understand? The words which I had said was sarcastic words. Only a human being can decipher this, friends, and that is where you will be able to make the difference. I can see Helen laughing. Anoga is like Raffle, Mrudula, lol. Yeah. So please, friends, that is where your contribution as chartered accountant will come. I bet, I am very confident, no machine can ever replace the human natural thinking. Right? So let me get back to the, and I'll have one more interesting story for those who are going to stay with me. More interesting again. Right? So let me come back to my presentation. Yeah, ये तो अपना हो गया. Let me go a little ahead. Sophisticated, इसलिए technology वगैरह सब देख के this particular thing popped up for me. Never be scared. Okay. Now the important question, friends. Why should I do so? ठीक है, डैडी ने कर लिया, दया निवास जी ठक्कर धक्के खाते खाते कर दिए, मैं क्यों करूं यार? Why should I do it? Right? So we have these prominent chartered accountants. We have CA Piyush Goyal, who has been the Union Cabinet Minister. We have CA Kumar Mangalam Birla, one of my personal favorites, who has been actually managing a huge conglomerate by the name Aditya Birla Group of Companies. Then we have CA Harish Salve, who's been a senior advocate in Supreme Court. And one of my favorite personal favorites whom we have recently lost, CA Rakesh Junjunwala. You know, friends, he started his life with 5,000 rupees. And when he died, can somebody of you tell me uska net worth kitna hoga? 500 रुपए से चालू किया. चलो let me see कितना जनरल नॉलेज अपने बच्चों में. He recently died. How much net worth he made? Okay, in crores चलेगा, in crores दे दो, no problem. जो समझते हैं 5 crore बहुत छोटा अमाउंट है बच्चा. 40,000 crores थाना से, yes, 40,000 और 45,000 CR. 10,000 से 45,000 CR मतलब 45, 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 500 rupees से this is what he made. Now how do you feel that, friends? कैसा लगा वो? 5,000 से, sorry, not 500 से, 5,000 से 45,000 crore is the amount of money which he made, which I have typed on the chat box, Bridula. So this is the power which this particular profession gives. Okay, see friends, I'll tell you what. जैसे एक मैंने तुमसे स्क्रीन शेयर किया था कि काबिल बनो, कामयाबी तो झक मार के अपने पीछे आ ही जाएगी, right? This particular degree will actually be one of the most important ammunition with you. और वो ammunition जब आपके पास आए तो you become an entrepreneur like Kumara Mangalam Birla, you become a cabinet minister as we saw, you become a coach or a teacher as what I'm doing, you become a CFO. The world becomes open for you. The world gets open. And then you can also have multiple careers. Nothing stops you from just doing one thing at one point of time. So empower yourself is what I would like to say. So far so clear, friends. एकदम clear. लिखो chat box में झकास. Clear. जैसा तुमको लिखने का, whatever you feel, are all clear, crystal clear, CC. So I know that, bhai. And you have something epic, Nubet. I love you, Nubet, for that. Epic, clear, sir, lovely. Crystal clear, jhakas, brutalize, love, smiling, super, lovely. Shall let me go ahead. Yeah, these are some of the quotes from very distinguished leader. Our own most respected Prime Minister of India, Sri Narendra Modi, said, "Yours is a profession in this society that has capacity to save this entire economy and keep it growing." A chartered accountant's role should be such that he knows that he's not working just to add and subtract these numbers, but he should feel that he's playing an important role in building the economic infrastructure. And one of my personal favorites, जो रतन टाटा जी ने कहा, I need MBAs to run my business, but I need chartered accountants to teach MBAs how to run the business. कैसा लगा ये? Tell me. You as a chartered accountant will teach MBAs how to run a business. These are quite in-depth. This is a very in-depth word coming up with somebody who is as senior as Sir Ratan Tata. Cool. Somebody is getting goosebumps. I can see that. That's lovely. Awesome, friends. So this, okay. Now let me come to this. As a chartered accountant, friends, as I said, it's a, what is the USP or the unique selling point? It's established by an act of parliament. Acha, this is one of the cases or one of the few professions where there is no reservation. Did you know this, friends? Type in the chat box. Yes, I knew it. No reservation, completely based on your merit. Completely based. That's a meritocracy. One of the best things you can get here. So what you deserve, what you see is what you will get, friends. Then there is a lot of equal opportunity to all. Age is no bar. You can take it. You have an ability to multitask. Lot of things. USP of CA profession. Then your path to success is built on foundation of meritocracy. You start a business from a scratch, you get good amount of salary, as CA Sharmila already spoke about it. And if you discuss with your parents, I'm sure they will let you know about it. And friends, this particularly I want to tell you. Again, Prime Minister Modi's statement, last में जो लिखा है ना, your signature is more powerful than Prime Minister's. And government also believes the accounts signed by you. This is what Shri Narendra Modi said while addressing chartered accountants after announcing GST. Friends, so much of recognition doesn't just come out of thin air. We deserve it, and we have won it, right? So I'm sure most of you will like to join that. Now comes an important. अभी why तो अपन ने आंसर किया, 3 why को आंसर किया, आखिर कहना क्या चाहते हैं? I'm sure now it is very clear. पहले ऐसा लग रहा था कि सर क्या बोलना चाह रहे हैं, अब अपने को क्लियर हो गया कि सर क्या बोल रहे हैं. Now the question comes, how can I become a chartered accountant? So the entry to the chartered accountant profession, दो टाइप में आप कर सकते हो. You can enter 2 ways. let me first tell you the direct entry scheme, because most of us love, sir, directly कुछ कर सकते क्या, कुछ जुगाड़ हो सकते क्या, जुगाड़, you know, that is a famous word which we have. I can see some of you smiling, हाँ sir, जुगाड़ जुगाड़ मालूम पड़ा. So direct entry क्या होता है friends? It's very simple. You complete your graduation, and graduation होने के बाद you need not give the foundation course. That is the direct entry, as simple as that. Okay. However, there is another option which is foundation scheme, which you can the examination you can give after your 12th standard. And how does it help you? It basically helps you to save 2 precious years of your life. अगर आप direct scheme से जाओगे, so after 12th you will do 3 years of your graduation, and then you will start with inter. However, with foundation, after clearing foundation examination, you can directly get into the intermediate examination as it is said here. You register when qualified 10th examination, you register for the foundation course, then you qualify in your class 12th examination, then you appear for your foundation examination in May or November, you qualify and you get into the next level. Right? Let me stop here now. Okay. Here I will tell you the 3 levels of chartered accountancy. The first level is foundation, as we said. The second level is intermediate, and the third level is final examination. Okay. Now, what is interesting, you will be very interested to know is that subject अपने तीनों में same ही रहते almost. Subjects are almost the same. Subjects कोई phenomenally change नहीं होता. Foundation में 4 है, intermediate becomes 8, final में it becomes 8. The subjects almost remains the same, but what changes is the depth of your understanding. Now, when you're in foundation, you are supposed to know the basics of everything. You know basics of law, you know basics of accountancy. Those things happens in foundation. Then, when you come to the intermediate level, then this basic thing changes into a working level of knowledge. कि तुम लोगों को working level of knowledge आना चाहिए once you are in intermediate examination. And once you clear intermediate examination, you will start with your articleship, that is basically practical training. So आपके studies के साथ आपका practical training भी हो जाएगा, and then you are good to go for final examination. And when you give your final examination and clear your final examination, again in final examination the same subjects will reappear, but now the level of knowledge will be expert knowledge. Now your basic से इंटरमीडिएट पे आप जब गए तो वर्किंग हुआ, और जब आप फाइनल में आए तो सेम सब्जेक्ट्स का यू नीड टू हैव एन एक्सपर्ट नॉलेज. यू विल बी एन एक्सपर्ट इन टैक्सेशन, you will be an expert in accountancy, you will become expert in that. And then, as I said, there is good amount of practical training which is happening. एक छोटा सा स्टोरी बोलूं प्रैक्टिकल ट्रेनिंग के ऊपर, क्यों प्रैक्टिकल ट्रेनिंग इंपॉर्टेंट है. स्टोरी अगर लिखोगे तो ही मैं बताऊंगा. इफ आई सी एटलीस्ट 10 पीपल सेइंग मुझे स्टोरी चाहिए, Rashwan is one who says yes sir, story. Okay, fine. तो यू नो मेडिकल में भी ऐसा होता है कि आफ्टर यू बिकम अ डॉक्टर यू हैव अ ट्रेनिंग व्हिच यू हैव टू डू. ओके, तो एक बंदा था, वो मेडिकल बन गया, उसका सब मेडिकल कर लिया. पहला दिन डॉक्टर बन के जाके बैठा हुआ है डिस्पेंसरी, सिटिंग लाइक अ डॉक्टर. ओके, एंड देयर इज वन पेशेंट हु कम्स इन. तो पेशेंट को देख रहा है, अच्छा भाई व्हाट हैज हैपेंड टू यू. तो पेशेंट बोल रहा है, सर मेरे को ना किडनी में बहुत पेन हो रहा है, एक्सक्रूशिएटिंग पेन इन किडनी. तो डॉक्टर बोला, देख भाई किडनी का तो मैंने ऑप्शन में छोड़ा था, तेरे को सर्वर दर्द कर रहा है तो बता, इफ हेड इज एकिंग आई कैन गिव यू मेडिसिन. किडनी हैड लेफ्ट इन ऑप्शन, आई कैन नॉट हेल्प यू इन किडनी वाला थिंग्स. सो द इंस्टीट्यूट डज नॉट वांट चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स का ये हालत हो जाए कि सर वो था ना टैक्स का, वो तो मैंने ऑप्शन छोड़ा था. एंड दैट इज व्हाई व्हेन यू आर स्टडीइंग चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंसी you will also be supposed to get a practical training done, which is called as articleship. So far so clear. We will answer all your queries, don't worry. Queries will be taken care of, but we'll go with the flow because quite a lot of queries can be probably handled as I'm going ahead only. Right? So clear? Let us go ahead. Write in the chat box, sir bhago. Let me see. Bhagao mujhe thoda. Let me run. Fine. This is entry to CA profession. Okay. Then we have CA foundation examination, 400 marks ka, as I said. You have principle of accountancy, you have laws, then you have mathematics and you have economics. Then I spoke about direct entry. Direct entry mein you can directly go into the intermediate. It's for graduates. In commerce with 55%. Agar aap koi aur stream se aa rahe ho, coming from science or arts, then with 60% mark. Or another way is if you're already a cost accountant or already a company secretary. As I said, I had completed my CS. So for people like us, we need not take up foundation. We can go directly into intermediate. And then intermediate, we have 8 subjects in each group. These are the broad subjects: accountancy, law, cost and management, taxation. Then group 2 may advanced accountancy, auditing, one of the important financial management. And same thing will reoccur in your final also. Then there is this ICITSS. It's basically course on technology and soft skills. Because one of the gaps which institute found was that कि यार बहुत study हो रहा है, in depth knowledge तो मिला, but जब तक till that I'm not able to represent my study, till the time I'm not able to speak out, how will somebody know how much I know? And that is why we have this practical training. And you will definitely earn while you're learning through articleship. And again, CA final may have the same group 1, group 2, 4+4 subjects. This is a fee structure, international fee structure. I'm sure CA Prabdeep will speak more about the international part of it because that is his domain and his expertise. What are the opportunities? So after becoming a chartered accountant, you can have your own practice, job employment, you have entrepreneurship, further studies. And you can be eligible for civil services, your tie up with IIMs, बहुत सारी चीजें, lot of things. अरे जर्नी शुरू तो करो, you know, you can see the road till here, चालू करो. और जब when you see that way, you will be extremely happy to see that this way will take you to places, friends. And we are proud to play a pivotal role in building a great nation. Okay, if you are ready, then there is a prospectus which is called a Chartered Accountancy Course Prospectus. And we have an institute website, www.icai.org. Oh, now comes the important question. Can I do CA? Right? Jaise Sharmila, then CA Prabdeep ji, Dayan Iwaji, all of them had actually touched upon the point that it is one of the difficult examination. Indeed, it is difficult, no doubt about it. Friends, if you have to be among the top 1% of the country, top 1% in the country, don't you think that you will have to give that level of commitment? Batao mujhe. Right? Hai na? If you have to be in top 1% of the country, you have to give that level of commitment. Yes or no, friends? Yes, says Arjun. Yes, sir, definitely. Gavin Gomes. Yes. So I'll tell you a small story. एक छोटा सा story बताता हूँ, right? The story is about the mindset, very important. How many of you are excited to hear this story? Right? Excited. Yeah, right. Whatever you feel. Sir, आपके story अच्छे लग रहे हैं. Let it come. आने दो थोड़ा. Excited लग रहा है मुझे. मजा आ रहा है. Excited. Mohammed says, lovely. अच्छा ऐसा कोई तो नहीं बोल रहा अरे यार एक और एक story आ गया boring सा. ऐसा तो कोई नहीं बोल रहे ना भाई. हाँ, अच्छा सब excited ही बोल रहे हैं. चलो अच्छा है. ऐसा भी नहीं हो तो बोल दो, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं. देखो क्या है ना, 100 लोगों में 2-3 लोग अगर बोरिंग बोल दे तो सुन लेने का भाई, छोड़ देने का. डोंट टेक लॉट ऑफ प्रेशर, ना प्रेशर नहीं लेने का. क्या है ना, छोटा दिमाग फूट जाता है, फिर बहुत प्रॉब्लम होता है. ओके, हेलन सेज यू आर अ गुड स्टोरी टेलर सर. यस, एक्साइटेड. लव यू हेलन फॉर दैट. ओके, नाउ व्हाट हैपेंड ना फ्रेंड्स, वंस व्हाट हैपेंड बाय मिस्टेक एंड ईगल है ना, ईगल अपन ने जो स्टार्टिंग में बोला था, ईगल द एम्बलम में जो है, द ईगल्स एग came and it actually fell into a hen's nest. Hen मतलब पता है ना, चिकन के नेस्ट में आके एग गिर गया. एंड देयर वर द चिकन के एग्स थे, उसमें एक ईगल का एग भी आ गया. ओके, अब उसमें क्या हो गया, फिर वो hen आई, द hen started giving the required amount of heat and all the eggs hatched. तो अभी जब एग्स हैच हो गया तो छोटे छोटे चिक्स आए बाहर और उसमें छोटा सा ईगल भी आ गया. बराबर, ईगल का अंडा तो गिरा हुआ था. यू रिमेंबर दैट स्टोरी राइट, कि ईगल का तो एक्सीडेंटली आ गया इसमें. नाउ एज द ईगल वाज ग्रोइंग अलोंग विद चिकन, द ईगल स्टार्टेड डूइंग व्हाट द चिकन्स डिड. राइट और रॉन्ग? वो तो वही देख रहा है. ये सीइंग मेरा भाई बहन तो, बिकॉज ही एज्यूम दैट ये चिकन तो मेरी मम्मी है, दिस चिकन इज माय मदर एंड दिस छोटा फेलो चिक्स आर ऑल माय ब्रदर्स एंड सिस्टर. राइट और रॉन्ग? टाइप इन द चैट बॉक्स. राइट सर. तो ईगल का क्या माइंडसेट रहेगा? ईगल विल फील दैट आई एम द चिकन. ही इज हैप्पीली थोड़ा थोड़ा ऐसे करके थोड़ा फ्लाई कर रहा है, थोड़ा इधर से उड़ता इधर तक आ जाता है, बोलता है आई कैन ओनली फ्लाई दिस मच. ओके, देन व्हाट हैपेंड, दे स्टार्टेड ग्रोइंग. सब चिकन विकन सब बड़े बड़े हो गए, ईगल भी बड़ा बन गया. तो सारे चिकन देख रहे थे, ये चिकन थोड़ा अलग दिख रहा है. दिस चिकन इज अ लिटिल ह्यूज चिकन. हाँ, इट लुक्स अ लिटिल बिगर देन अस. काला है थोड़ा, हम लोग थोड़े गोरे गोरे हैं. राइट? So while this eagle was sitting एंड वो hen उसकी मदर जो है वो मदर को देखता है एंड द ईगल उसने ऐसे स्काई में देखा, ही सॉ इन द स्काई एंड देयर वाज अ माइटी ईगल वाज फ्लाइंग, मस्त ईगल फ्लाई कर रहा था एंड ये वो देख रहा है ऊपर बिकॉज ये ईगल को तो लग रहा है वो तो चिकन है, बराबर है ना, यू रिमेंबर दैट राइट, ही फील्स इज अ चिकन and he's seeing that eagle and he's saying, wow, what a bird. How high can that bird fly? The bird is flying so high. So he went to his mother. Chicken ko pucha, mother chicken, mother ko mother, why cannot I fly like that? So the chicken told, no, bacha, you are a hen. We can only fly this much. इससे ज्यादा हम लोग fly नहीं कर सकते. And that eagle kept on seeing that other eagle. Now, friends, you understand, this eagle was born to win, but he was constantly conditioned to lose, right or wrong? Tell me in the chat box. He was born to win, he was born to fly, but constantly he was told कि यार तू नहीं कर सकता, तेरे से नहीं होगा, तू इसके लिए बना ही नहीं है. No. Each one of us have that potentiality. We are that born eagle, friends. We are that born eagles. We are born to fly. We are born to win. Just keep your company right. If you have your company right, then you definitely will achieve it. Nothing is difficult. If you see Sharmila, if you see Nisha, if you see Ashwati, Stanamurti, Cliffy, me, do we look like aliens? We are very much humans, right? So if we could achieve, even you could achieve that. So थोड़ा ऐसा बुरा लगता है ना वो ईगल के लिए, अपने को ईगल के लिए बुरा लग रहा है ना. इज एनीबॉडी फीलिंग सैड फॉर दैट ईगल? सर आई एम फीलिंग अ लिटिल सैड. लिखो यस सर. तो पिक्चर खत्म नहीं है दोस्त, पिक्चर अभी खत्म नहीं हुई है. ऑलवेज यू एनीथिंग इन अ वेरी पॉजिटिव नोट. यू नो देयर इज वन ईगल हु केम, he came near that eagle and said, boss, you are a born eagle, you are born to fly, you are born to win, चल तेरे को मैं ट्रेन करता हूँ, I'll train you. And within 1 month that eagle started flying like an eagle. He found his long lost glory. So what it means, friends, find your eagle in your life. Dhundo who is that one person who will make you fly. And I'm sure you will definitely achieve this. It's not that difficult. I'm sure it is difficult because you guys are going to be the top 1% in the country, but not that difficult that you cannot achieve. So can I do CA? Very much you can do CA, friends. You have to control. You don't be overconfident. अरे मेरे को तो सब आता है, ये क्या बताएगा? No, you have to listen, grasp, keep on learning. And if you see an auto rickshaw driver has become a chartered accountant, there is a blind lady who has become a chartered accountant. So when everything is so much in you, why can't you become a chartered accountant, friends? Tell me how many of you are ready to become chartered accountant. Say ready to be a CA. Type in the chat box, I want to see ready to be a CA. Me, Ashwan, lovely, ready to be a CA. Mohammed, lovely. Oh my God, what an energy. Absolute next level energy. Gavin is there. She's me, Mukund, lovely. Lovely. No one of you. Friends, with this, I hand over this session to Ashwati. Thanks a lot. Will always be there for me, a guide. My number is there. Whenever you lose an eagle in your life, find the right eagle. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Amit. That was quite an exciting and engaging session. In the beginning, you had mentioned that this is going to be a wonderful session, right? I agree totally with you. Even I was, wondering, like I was wishing I had someone early in my career to give this kind of a session and insights into the CA course. Children, maybe now if you have any questions, please type into the chat box and we will take it up.
I guess, Aswati, we had a few questions before. If you can scroll through, or probably somebody can raise the hand and we can just unmute that person and take it. Yeah, ACCA or CA?
So we have a question here. What is auditing? That is from Atharva. Amit, what is auditing?
Yeah. You want me to handle it? Okay, fine.
Yes.
See, what happens is for any of the company, for the company's accounts are basically been drawn up by the team who the company has hired. करेक्ट, बराबर है. तो क्या हो सकता है, समझो मुझे बैलेंस शीट दे दिया, ओके, एंड आई एम नाइसली स्पेंडिंग ऑन माय इंटरनेशनल ट्रैवल, घूम रहा हूँ, फिर रहा हूँ, मूवीज देख रहा हूँ, आई एम स्पेंडिंग अ लॉट ऑफ मनी, एंड आई एम शोइंग दैट आई हैव परचेज्ड वन एसेट. मैं ऐसा दिखा दूंगा इन द अकाउंट्स बिकॉज द अकाउंट्स आर विद मी ओनली, राइट. सो देयर हैज टू बी समबडी हु विल कम, इंडिपेंडेंट पर्सन, बाहर से कोई आके चेक करेगा, समबडी विल कम फ्रॉम आउटसाइड एंड चेक कि whether these accounts are made rightly or not. So that particular person who is coming from outside, he is called as an auditor. An audit is basically checking of the books of accounts that it has been properly drawn up or not. Is it clear, friend? Whoever asked what is audit? Okay, thank you, Atharva. Atharva is clear on that.
Thank you, Amit. Next question we have from Sony. She is asking the difference between ACCA or CA. That is it, Sony, are you asking whether you want to go for ACCA or CA, or the difference between?
Pradeep ji, can you please handle this ACCA versus CA?
Yes. Who had asked this question? Sorry, I forgot the name. Who had
Sony.
asked?
Sony.
Sony. Yeah.
Yes.
So Sony, if you are there, if you see, the chartered accountancy for each country is a different institute. Like we told about that, we do MRAs with different countries. So what happens is that, when I'm in any country, I will be doing the chartered accountancy from that country's institute. If I'm in England, I'll do from England Institute. If I'm in India, I'll do from India. If I'm in Sri Lanka, I'll do from Sri Lanka. So that is how the process goes. And when it comes to, ACCA is like a global education organization, which normally targets those countries which does not have their own accounting body. Right. So that's why, as in most of the Middle East countries, we do not have an accounting body. So we have people doing similar. It's in Africa. But that's how, and they are in the finance field. And so if we have to do the chartered accountancy, I believe, not on my official position, I'm saying we should do the accountancy of the country of where we are in, or of which we are, so that, we have a strong base, which I had touched about earlier, that we are not taking a shortcut route. And our qualification gives us access to get membership of so many other countries, because we have MRAs. And normally we have MRAs with most of the countries, where generally we as the Indian accountants move. So that's a difference. Instead of chartered accountants of CA is normally of an account of a country's accounting body, and ACCA is a global is an organization which teaches accountancy all across the world. Yeah. So the brands are different.
We have Shreyasi who has raised their hand. Yes, Shreyasi.
So again, I really enjoyed your session. So I had one
Thanks.
question. In your presentation, you mentioned that in CA, you have no age limit. You can apply whenever you want. So as a 9th student right now, what can I do to start, like, preparing before I actually go on to that level?
Excellent question, Shreyasi. See, if I were to advise you, Shreyasi, currently you just focus on your 9th and 10th standard. That is really more than enough currently. Okay. Let me give you an idea. What you do is currently try to get the best of the percentage in your 10th standard, because that is something which will always remain your CV, whatever you get in the 10th. After 10th, when you will have enough amount of time in your 11th and 12th standard, because any which ways, the first level of foundation you can take only after your 12th standard, after you appear for the 12th standard examination. So you can begin your studies along with 11th and 12th. However, what I'd advise you while you're in 9th is that you actually walk through certain videos which speak about affirmation, which speak about motivation, which will keep you motivated for your current level. But just take the steps as and when it comes. And to answer you shortly, concentrate on your 9th and 10th now. After that, we are around to guide you. Hope that clarifies your doubt, Shreyasi.
We have another, thank you, Amit. We have another question from Ayana. When do you have to start preparing for foundation? I think that is already taken up by Amit. That is from 11th standard. You can think about start preparing. We have another question. What is the if you need to be accepted in a university, how much GPA should I get? I think this question is not directly related to the CA curriculum. We have Nivedya. Nivedya, if you would like to ask the question, Nivedya Babu. You can unmute yourself and please ask the question.
Good afternoon. Thank you for the session. My question was, if you want to do a postgraduate in management, will CA be accepted as a basic graduation, or do we need to do another course such as a BCom or BBA before we do the post-graduation if we want to be accepted?
I'll take this up. If we see that in India, if we are there, chartered accountancy is considered to be a post-qualification course for getting admission into PhD. So there is no issue in India. But when it comes to a foreign country, you know, every foreign country will have a different rules and different way of scheming things and giving the grading. So that makes a difference where each additional qualification sometimes makes a difference to a career. So therefore, it's recommended that when we are in a foreign country, we should separately do any graduation course so that it completes our point system stronger. And there are many countries like Middle East countries, you know, which still have a system of giving a visa on the basis of our university degree, because the countries have not yet set system of giving the visas on a professional qualification. So for those matters, graduation is advised when we are in a foreign country, which we should separately do. We had done the NARIC benchmarking in 2019 in UK, but that does not complete the processes in other countries, because until and unless the countries bring professional qualification acceptable for a visa, the issue remains. So therefore, therefore it's recommended that bachelor's is also done simultaneously.
We have another question from Alina. Should I do BCom before CA? Is it better?
I think that as a students of generation, this generation, it is recommended that we do simultaneously, because sometimes we feel that we do things quickly, and we also we are close to our peers. So most of the students do the chartered accountancy right now through a foundation route. The percentage is very high, and a student can take the admission in a foundation after completing the 10th. And most of the foundation syllabus also matches with what we are studying in 11th and 12th. So therefore, our articleship normally comes after in the second or third year of a chartered accountancy. So it does not clash. Even if there may be a small clash, it may be of a very limited 6 months time or so. So therefore, it is advisable that we take a foundation route and we simultaneously do the graduation, because waiting for 3 years first completing the graduation and then going for chartered accountancy will become a longer period, with sometimes if age is not on our side, then it can be a problem. So therefore, it is advisable to start early, but it's a personal choice.
Thank you, sir. We have another question. Thank you, all the speakers. My question is, how do I understand if my kids have aptitude for CA or science stream? So you have any
Actually, I wanted to touch upon one topic, like I address many students in 8th standard in UAE. Why? Because there are some ICSE board schools, and these ICSE board schools give ask you to select your subjects for science and commerce in the 9th grade. So therefore, when I do such sessions, I talk about the future industries which are coming in. So there are two things which are important, which is what is important, that what are the relevant industries for future. And the second thing is that as a student, where my interest is, because when we engage ourselves in our homes, we sometimes develop passion for numbers, seeing our parents investing in stock markets, and sometimes seeing our father as engineer, we get passion to open the gadgets and do things around it. So therefore, I think that is how by observing our students, we can understand that where our student passion is, whether it's, and there are so many people who ultimately come on the number side after completing engineering, because they see more money in this field, like in investment banking and all. So therefore, it's up to a student's interest, student's passion, which we can only get to know by observing that whether my aptitude is for science or commerce. And accordingly, I think by observing, we can decide that where the student's interest may be.
Okay, thank you, sir. Another question, I think Sharmila will be able to take it up. How many CA firms are there in Bahrain which offer opportunities for articleship?
There are quite a few partners who are eligible to have the articles under them in Bahrain. And if you can visit to BCICI website, we have specifically given the names of the partners who can be, who can take up the articles. And any further, you want to have the contact details or anything for that, you can get in touch with anybody of us from the executive committee, and they will help you to get them connected. But yes, we do have around, I guess, 8 to 10, which of we know, and maybe there are more than that, partners who are eligible to take articleship in Bahrain. So do get in touch when if required, and we can share the contact details as well.
Just to add to that, the other thing is that each of these partners have eligibility to have more than one article. So while Sharmila just mentioned that we've got about 10 chartered accountants who are eligible to take article students, each person, each chartered accountant can take more than one. So you do not need to be afraid or worried whether I'll get an articleship opportunity in Bahrain. The opportunity exists. Register for the CA course and you'll get all the benefits sitting here in Bahrain itself.
Yeah, one more thing, Stanu, I want to add that, once the new syllabus is approved by the government, it has a regulation where IFAC body members can also train Indian students. So once that comes up, once these students become eligible, I believe that at that point of time, the articleship opportunities in Bahrain may multiply from current 100 to 1,000. Because the things will significantly change at that point of time.
Agreed. And we also have the thing of industrial training thing. So I guess there are a couple of companies here in Bahrain as well who are trying to get into that, to get it approved, and they can have the trainings under them. So slowly the things are opening up now that we have center here. We have people who can have the articleship, and people, companies thinking of getting the industrial training thing. So things are opening up in Bahrain, and so it's not required now for the students here to go back to India or go to Dubai or to pursue their course. So we have one more: when the practical training to be done, after qualification or before qualification?
Yeah, practical training has to be done, after we complete one of the group as of the current rules in intermediate. But with the new syllabus, it will change. Both the groups should have been cleared when the new syllabus comes. So therefore, there won't be much change. So small change after completing the intermediate, you can say that normally the students do the articleship. And after 2.5 years of articleship, you are eligible to appear in examination. But in a new scheme, if you are not going for a practice, then the articleship period, if it gets approved, what has been proposed reduces to 2 years from 3 years' time.
We have another question. What will be the overall cost of the CA course? I think Amit, you had a slide on that.
And believe me, it is lesser than
It's
any
not.
other
Yes.
profession.
Yes,
It is
It's not-
tremendously lesser than any other profession across. So that is
definitely. It is the profession is one of the highest ROI, that is return on investment.
Yes.
I'm sure everyone will agree for that. So that is one of the smallest joke which we play ना, that मेरे बेटी का जो पहले साल का स्कूल का फीस था मेरे पूरे चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंसी के फीस से भी ज्यादा था. It was like that. So friends, don't worry, it's not going to be that expensive. It will keep on changing. Now you're in 9th grade, 10th grade, but marginally it changes, and it is very much affordable. So don't worry on the affordability part of it. Plus, as you progress along with the articleship opportunities and all that stuff coming out, whatever you invest, you'll be able to recover it at in the first, even before you're a chartered accountant.
Very true. Next question, how to start CA Foundation from Bahrain? Who can guide us? This we can take it up separately. You can reach out to any of the ExCom members and we will be happy to guide you. There is a question. Previously, CA from India had still to obtain a professional accounting qualification in Canada and Australia in order to get a job. Has that changed? And if yes, how? It's a question.
No,
Sarah.
yeah, actually, the thing is that whenever you are moving to any foreign country, if you have to grow in a career there, normally the organizations may ask you to obtain the local qualification. So that's why we have entered into MRA. So when it comes to taking an employment, normally what happens when we are moving to Canada or Australia, the process is like that. Is very different from Middle East. We take a PR, then we go to the country and look for a job, and then simultaneously complete the qualification if we haven't, and then grow in the career. So therefore, in the long run, it is advisable that if you are moving to a country, you take one of the local qualification. Like for Australia, there are two qualifications. One is CP Australia and one is Institute of Chartered Accountants of Australia and New Zealand. We have an MRA with both of them. But CPA is old institute because other two institutes have merged and became one. So therefore, CPA Australia is more prevalent in Australia and nearby parts of the world. But both institutes are acceptable. And in Canada, it's CPA Canada. So therefore, in the long run, we do have to take, but there are members for initial 3-4 years, they work in these countries without any additional qualification, like normally in Canada, because mostly people who move to Canada, they first move to Canada, take an employment, and then do CPA Canada. But getting a CPA Australia is easier. So many times we take CPA Australia before moving to that country. And the other thing is that normally when we are moving to these countries, it is advisable that we move by the age of 40, because as the age grows, the point systems become tougher. And other thing is that, in Australia, our experiences share that initially when you join an employment, you may have to compromise a bit because you are coming from a foreign country. But our members have been able to demonstrate their capabilities in the job in Australia, and then they move ahead in their career very fast. So initially we may have to compromise a bit on the level of employment we are in, but when we showcase our capabilities, we get an opportunity to grow along with the years.
Thank you. There is another question from Sarang. He's asking, can I write final exam in Bahrain? Yes, Sarang, you can write final exams in Bahrain. Bahrain is one of the centers. Then many have asked questions. I think Amit have already answered to them through the chat box.
Shreyasi had a question about practice. Shreyasi, can you please elaborate on the call? I cannot hear you.
on mute.
You're on mute, I guess.
She was on mute, but not audible.
Yeah, you're not audible. Yeah, you're audible now, please. Yes.
Yeah, so
No, again, I lost you.
I guess try using without your headphones, Shreyasi.
Am I audible now?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. So when you mentioned practical training in the final exam course, so what does it mean by practical training?
Okay, I will tell you. It is basically I meant articleship. Fine. As Pradeep ji said that basically after clearing one group of intermediate as it stands now, you will have to start your practical training. So that means articleship. And then a CA in practice means once you are qualified, you have two options. You can have your own practice where you're practicing audit, taxation with your clients, or you can join an employment, like how some of them join some of the companies and work as chartered accountants there. So that practical training is what I meant was articleship as we call it today. Is it clear, Shreyasi? Okay.
I think we do not have any more questions in the chat box. In case any of you have any other questions which you later on think of, you can always connect with us. You can go to our CA website. The names and numbers are all available there. Just write to us and we'll be happy to help you. So with this, we are going to move to the most exciting part. One of the exciting part, that is we're going to have a short Kahoot quiz for all students. So maybe I will now invite CA Flanel de Souza. Flanel?
Yes. Ashwati, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Lovely. Hello, students. Hello, my esteemed dignitaries on the virtual days. A very good afternoon to all of you, or a good evening, wherever you're connecting from. Ashwati, may I request you to make me the co-host, please, so I'm able to share my screen. Thank you.
You're already a co-host, Flanel. You can share your screen.
Already a co-host. There are two accounts. One is CA Flanel D'Souza and the other one is Flanel D'Souza. So can you make Flanel D'Souza the co-host? I am sharing my laptop screen. Just type here.
So let's see how many people were attentive.
You're already co-host.
Not typing.
Okay, lovely.
I'm sure Amit would love to see, and Mr. Pradeep would love to see that. Who were their sessions?
Okay, so students, I hope all of you can see the screen. So this quiz is going to be very easy. It's going to be all about what we spoke today, and it's going to be fun. Well, this is all nostalgia because just like all of you, I have also studied in Bahrain, and then completed my CA, and I'm working in Bahrain. So it's nostalgia to see all of you be where I was, I think, 2 years ago. Anyways, coming to the quiz, all of you need to go to www.kahoot.it, enter the game pin 768695, enter your names. I think for the sake of easy identification, perhaps what you could do is you could put in your names as well as your school names as well. So all of you join with your names. What I'll recommend is you leave and you rejoin with your first name and your school name, so we're easily able to track you all. Okay, lovely. So let's say my name is Flanel and I'm studying in let's say school ABC. So it'll be Flanel School ABC. So request all of you, those who've joined, to leave and rejoin with their first name and their school names. Lovely. So this is going to be a very easy quiz about today's topic. We have around 10 to 12 questions. You all will be given 20 to 30 seconds to answer those questions. You will be having 4 options and you have to select any one of them, unless it's a true or false question or some other fun puzzle that we have in store for you. So may I request everyone to join with their names as well as their school names. Let me now go and check who are there without their school names. Just a minute. Kritika Sharma, Anish, Hashim. Okay, the names are moving so fast. Fatima, Roy, could you please rejoin with your school names? Joanne as well.
And if you just cut the name, they will be pushed out. They can rejoin again. That will be easier way for them.
Yeah. I'm trying to do that, but the names are moving too fast, so I don't want to push out the wrong person. 1 second. Anish. else are left? Roy, Joanne, Joel, Jacob, could you please rejoin? Let me just. Let's wait a minute or two for everyone to join with their first name and their school names, and then we're going to start.
We have
already have
100
54
participants.
students.
We have nearly 100
sorry.
participants on the call, but we just have about 55 participants on the Kahoot quiz. We expect higher numbers. Everybody has an opportunity to participate and win. Please do join. All students, please do join.
And the quiz is very simple, very easy, very fun. So get your phones ready to play this. So we have 59, okay. I think someone left just now. So to all those who are facing difficulties joining, go to www.kahoot.it. The website is there on your screen, and use the game pin on your screen to join in with your first name and your school name. I think we'll give all 30 seconds more. So in 30 seconds, we will all begin. I'm sure today's session was very informative. All of you are planning your future, your career ahead at this young age. So it's really good to see all of you taking that initiative and be present here on this Friday morning to learn more about what different options that you all have. So that's great. I think I'll be giving you all another 10-20 seconds more because I see that 5 more students have joined. I think there are still students trying to join in. To go back to when I had to decide to whether I'm going to be a CA or decide another path, I remember this very strong quote. That is, when you enjoy what you do, you will never work for a single day. Think about it. When you enjoy what you do, you aren't really working. You're having fun. So that's all that I'd like to leave you all with. And with that, we are going to lock the quiz room so that no one else can join in between. Okay, that's done. So with that, let us begin our Kahoot quiz. And everyone, keep your fingers and click fast. Those who click faster will get more points. So this is your first question. In how many ways a student can enter into the CA course? Your options are A1, B2, C3, and D4. Five more seconds to go. Okay, that's great. A lot of you got 39. Yes, there are 2 ways to enter the CA course. The direct entry or the CPT route. Let's move on to the next question now. But before that, let's have a look at the scoreboards. And we can see Dhruvi, Savio, Saranya, Amruta, Fatima at the top. So good job, guys. You still have another 9 more questions. All of you can come up on the top scoreboards, get your fingers, and start clicking. Here's your next question. It's a true or false question. A CA student has to start his practical training after becoming a chartered accountant. Is this true or is this false? Five more seconds. I think Umar has answered in the Zoom box. You need not answer on the Zoom, but thank you for that. So a lot of you got it false, and false is the correct answer. You have to finish your practical training before you become a qualified chartered accountant. Let's look at the scoreboards now. And we see there's a drastic change here. Saranya has come on the top, and we have 4 other students coming on top. Great job. Let's move on to our next question now. What is the registration fees for CA Foundation course for international students? Your options are A, $325, B, $725, C, $800, or D, $1,050. 5 more seconds. Okay, so I see that there is a mixed opinion on this question, but a lot of you got $725 correct. $7 to $25 is the correct answer. Let's look at the scoreboards. Okay, we see a small change, and Agni has climbed 24 places. Good job. Let's move on to our next question. How many subjects are there in the CA intermediate course? Your options are on the screen. Read carefully and then answer them. Lovely. A lot of you got this right. I'm so happy to see that. Yes, there are 8 subjects. Your CA intermediate course is broken down into group 1 and group 2 with 4 subjects each. Let's move on to our scoreboards. Okay, some of you who've been answering all the questions correct have lost your answering streak. No matter, you still have another 5 more questions to go. All right, with that, let's go on to our next question. What is the rank of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India as a worldwide professional accounting body? Your options are on the screen. Read carefully and answer. Okay, I'm happy to see that some of you think it's first, but yes, it's the second largest professional accounting body, and a lot of you got it right. I'm still happy to see these answers. Let's look at the scoreboards now to see what is the change from the previous question. Okay, see, some of you got your answer streaks back, so that's good. And we see a very minute change here. So let's move on to our next question. Who among the following Union Cabinet Ministers is also a chartered accountant? The options are A. Nirmala Sitharaman, B. Nitin Gadkari, C. Smriti Irani, and 4. Piyush Goyal. You have 5 more seconds. A lot of you got it right. It is Piyush Goyal. Good job. Let's look at our scoreboards. So we see that there's a change after this question. Stefia has come up, climbed up 12 places. Dawn, Rudra, Anubha has come up. Good job, guys. With that, let's go to our next question now. Say Dayaniva Sharma holds chairmanship of which committee of ICI? Your options are on the screen. Read carefully and select your answers. To those of you who read the profiles that we shared across to all of you, you'll be able to answer this question very easily. Yes, a lot of you got it right. It is Board of Studies Academy. Let's look at the scoreboards now. 7 players hit an answer streak. Amrita and Aina have climbed up on the scoreboards. So this is good. Let's go to our 8th question. CA Prateek Singh Babija holds which position at ICI Middle East and Africa region? Your options are on the screen. Read carefully and answer. Time's up. Okay, I mean, I can totally understand how you all could be confused. Regional director, regional chairman. So the actual title is regional director. To those who've answered, good job. Let's look at our scoreboards. Amrita, Krishna, Giselle have climbed on top, and Sony has climbed up 11 places. Good job, everyone. We still have a few more questions to go. So all of you here, keep your fingers on selecting the right answer as fast as possible to get the highest score. Let's move to our next question. CA Amit Shinoy secured which rank in CA intermediate course? The options are on the screen. 5 more seconds, everyone. Good job. I think a lot of you were paying attention. So good, good. Let's move on to our scoreboards now. We see a drastic change. Angel has climbed up 9 places. Giselle, Amrita, and Fatima have come up. So with that, let's move on to our true or false question. ICA conducts CA examination 4 times in a year: March, June, September, and December. Is this true or is this false? Five more seconds, students. Okay, I'm surprised to see this answer. So CA Institutes conducts exam 2 times in a year, not 4 times. So the answer is false. So let's look at our scoreboards now. Okay, so we've seen that there's not much change here. With that, let's move on to the next question. C. Rajni Gopal, the first blind lady chartered accountant, cleared CA examination course in which year? Five more seconds, students. Okay, many of you got it right. It's 2002. With that, let's move on to our scoreboards. So Gavin has had an answer streak of 3. Good. Serena has come up, and this is the position that we see. Let's move on to our next puzzle. Arrange the following in the chronological order. So in terms of completing the CA course, what is the chronological order? Rearrange what you see here on your screens. You have 15 more seconds left. So to those of you who are playing the quiz diligently, you would have at least had one part of this answer in one of the questions before. Okay. So we see that very few got it right. So it starts with CA Foundations, followed by CA Intermediate, thereafter 3 years of articleship, and then CA Finals. So here is our scoreboards. There isn't any change. With that, your final important question. Did you enjoy the session? You have 20 seconds to answer it. Lovely. Okay, 60 of you enjoyed it. One, I'm assuming that was clicked by mistake, but then I cannot say. So great job. It's good to get all of your feedback like this. Now with that, I think the most weighted moments are winners of this quiz Kahoot. Let's have our winners now. So in third place, we have Fatima. In second place, we have Dawn. And in first place, we have Ramyona. And we have Giselle and Serenia as the runners-up, 4th and 5th. So great job, everyone. I hope all of you enjoyed this. I thoroughly did, being your quiz master. And remember, you have miles to go and miles to achieve. So keep doing your best and give it your all. With that, I hand over the control back to our MC, CA Ashwati. Over to you.
Thank you, CA Flanell. That was quite an interesting Kahoot quiz. So this brings us to an end to our wonderful session. On behalf of BCICI, I would like to extend our thanks to students for their brilliant participation. Parents for encouraging the students to attend, and also school management for their immense support. The follow-ups they have conducted is thanks very much for the support. To our guests today, CA Dayaneva Sharma and Sir Pradeep Singh Baveja for their valuable insights. CA Amit Shenoy for his very engaging session. CA Flanell and Abhishek for managing the quiz competition. So that is all from my end for today. I wish you all had a great time and the session was truly beneficial. I wish you all a very happy weekend. Thank you.